Hello everyone. Today we are going to be looking at foreign key. In my previous video, I showed you what a primary key is, and I made you to realize that a primary key is a column or group of columns that is used to uniquely identify a record in a table. And I gave you a series of examples on that. If you have not watched my video on primary key, I highly encourage you to go do that right now. I will put a link to that in the description below. Okay, but today we are going to be looking at foreign key. A foreign key is a column or group of columns that refer to a primary key in another table. Take note, a foreign key is a column also, just like we talked about in primary key. It could also be a group of columns. But in this case, it's going to be referencing a primary key in another table. And that's why we said it is a column or group of columns that refer to a primary key in another table. That means that there is going to be a relationship between a table where you have the foreign key and another table where you have the primary key. Don't worry, guys. I'm going to be giving you an example of that right here to better buttress what we are talking about right here. Okay. Foreign key is usually denoted as FK, F foreign, then K key. Just like we talked about primary key, which is PK. Foreign key is FK. Now, the table that contains the foreign key is called child table, or you call it referencing table. Okay? Remember, we just said that a foreign key is a column or a group of columns that refer to a primary key in another table. The another table we are talking about right there that has the primary key is the parent table, but the one that has the foreign key is the child table. So that means you have parent-child relationship right here. Okay, take a look at what we wrote right. The table that contains the foreign key is called the child table or referencing table, while the table to which the foreign key references is called parent table or referenced table. So take note here, guys. We are talking about now parent table and child table, right? The parent table is the one that has the primary key, okay, and the child table is the one that has the foreign key, okay. And take note, the child table has the foreign key. That foreign key is referencing the primary key in the parent table. Okay, now let us take a look at an example for you to better understand that. Okay, let us take a look at these three tables, and these three tables are adapted from the DVD rental database table that we have been working on. So I just took some numbers out of that to explain this to you guys. Okay, now if you look at this, we have three tables: customer table, rental table, and the inventory table. Okay, if you take a look at this, you realize that each table has a primary key. That's why I put PK here so that you guys can easily get that right here. You see that you have customer ID is the primary key for this table, this customer table, and we have already established that primary key is unique, right? It is unique, and as you can see, each row right here has a unique customer ID. So that means Mary Smith, Linda Williams, Victor Gibson, all these guys, all these folks right here, they have their own customer ID that is unique to each person. Also, if you come to a rental table, we also have a primary key, right? That means that for each movie or each film that is rented, there is a rental ID associated to each transaction, right? To each transaction of movie that is rented. So like take for example this customer ID 4 rented movies, right? They rented 3 movies right here. This is one rental ID, this is another rental ID, this is another rental ID. You can see rental ID 28, 24, 25. So that means that one customer can rent as many movies or as many films as possible, right? So in that case, each customer can have more than one rental ID, which is what you have seen right here. So rental ID right here is the primary key because this is unique. Same thing applies to inventory table. It also has its own primary key, which is this inventory ID, which is unique. Okay, now let us now try to understand what a primary key is. Okay, if you come back to this rental table, you can see that you also have customer ID right here. You can see that this customer ID is referencing this customer ID that you have right here, guys. Remember what we just mentioned in our previous slide, that foreign key references the parent table, that is the primary key in another table. So that means that we have all our customers right here. Now we also have customers that rented some of our movies right here. Okay, now if you look at this column right here, which is the foreign key, you can see that this is not unique. You can see we have how many 4s? We have 3 4s right here. This is repeatable. Okay, take note, primary key are not repeatable. As you can see, customer ID, rental ID, inventory ID, they are not repeatable, they are unique. But customer ID that you see right here in this rental table is not unique, it is repeatable. Okay, when you see such like this, then this is the foreign key. So that means that customer ID is a foreign key inside the rental table. Take note, let me repeat that again, guys. Customer ID is a foreign key inside the rental table. However, customer ID is a primary key inside customer table. So now, how is customer table and rental table related? It is a parent-child relationship. What does that mean? What that means is that customer ID, because it is referencing the primary key inside this customer table, that makes this rental table to be a child of the customer table. Do you guys get that right now? Now, another example also is this. Take a look at this. This one has inventory ID. That's the rental table also has inventory ID. Inventory table also has inventory ID. And we know that in the inventory table, the inventory ID is the primary key. So now, how does rental table and inventory table relate to each other? As you can guess, rental table and inventory table will be a parent-child relationship. Why is that? Because this inventory ID in this rental table is referencing the primary key that is inside the inventory table. Okay, this inventory ID is referencing the inventory ID primary key here that is inside this inventory table. Okay, and that is why if you look at this inventory ID in this rental table, you can see that these IDs are repeatable. You can see that we have 2346, 2346, right? So that means that this customer ID 1 and customer ID 4, they both rented film or movies in the same inventory. You see, this customer ID, they both rented in the same inventory. That is why you see the same inventory ID. So now this is a foreign key inside rental table, which is referencing the primary key inside the inventory table. That's this inventory ID inside this inventory table. I hope you guys get that right now. So it is a case of a parent-child relationship. Customer table is parent to rental table right here. Inventory table is also a parent. It's also a parent to the rental table right here. I hope you guys get that right now. It's good to understand primary key and foreign key, because this is what you are going to be building upon by the time we get to the next few set of videos, where I'll be teaching you how to join two or more tables together. At that point, we are going to be looking at foreign key and primary key as a way to join two tables together. Now, I hope you guys understand this right now. Now, I have taught you primary key as in my previous video, and this particular video, I have also taught you foreign key. And I think that with this, you guys should be able to, we should be getting ready to learn how to join two or more tables together. If you are new on this channel, I highly encourage you to subscribe to this channel and click on the bell so that you can get notified whenever we release any of our videos. Also, please don't forget to comment, like, and help us to share this video so that it can reach more people. All right, take care of yourself, guys. Bye.